Make it make sense. Hey! Woo! Okay. Listen. All right. Hold on a second. Make it make sense how a guy will see a girl just under, I think a little bit under 24 hours. And then immediately you approached her for a relationship. You tell her you like her. You want to take her serious. You don't intend to mess with her. You're not fucking around with her. You're not playing games with her. You want both of you to build a relationship that is not only going to exist in the Biggieverse, that's going to extend to the real world. You approached this girl. You gave her that assurance that you are for her, that you're always going to be there for her. And then lo and behold, 2 days later, just 2 days later, was it 2 days later? No, actually, 24 hours later, or probably even less than 24 hours later, a shower can't enter your eye. Your eyes started catching the sights, the aesthetics of other fine girls in the house. And then you started having second thoughts about your hasty commitment to this other girl. And ever since, you've been sad. You've been trying to mingle with these other girls, but then the one that you gave your assurance to has been tailing you around the house, has been asking you, do you still fancy me? Are you still interested? Are you still feeling me? Because we don't know if she's actually playing a game or not, but from the look of things, she is smitten by this guy. But brother on the other side is saying, I still feel you, but you need to calm down. You are telling the girl to calm down in an isolated environment, in a confined space. You're telling her to calm down. Oh, because you want to explore. You want to see other girls. You want to form more connections, which is not bad. Ladies and gentlemen, let's not get it twisted, which is not bad. But then the question is, why the rush? Why did you rush? Why did you rush to go and tie down somebody's daughter? Why did you rush to go and make the first move? Why did you not take your time? Look around you. Look. Scan around. Check how the girl is like, okay, do I like this one? Do I not like this one? Do I want to ship with this one or not? Why did you not take your time to scan? Now you have seen that the girl is into you a lot. You have seen that, this one, she's an emotional wreck. She's emotionally extremely dependent. And me being a psychologist and a very, very crazy guy, I cannot handle all her feelings bundled into one. And now you're looking for a way of escape. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure by now you already know who I'm talking about. Yes, I am talking about Victory. Victory is in a state of dilemma, or maybe we shouldn't call it a state of dilemma, because somebody that is in a state of dilemma is, struggling to choose between the devil and the deep blue sea, as they call it. Yeah. So I don't think this is a state of dilemma. I think he's having second thoughts. I think he feels like he has made a mistake, that he had been too hasty to declaring his affections for GIGI Jasmine. And even Big Brother himself is not finding it funny. Even Big Brother is irritated. Guys, Big Brother is so over the story. He's so irritated to the point that the way he ended Victory's diary session, it felt like Big Brother was almost going to use a water hose to say, get out of my diary room right now. Get out of here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for real, I watched Victory's diary session. This shirt you still stay now. As I was saying, I watched Victory's diary session and I just could not help but feel sorry for both him and GIGI Jasmine. Yeah. And I'm going to explain further. In fact, I think I've actually been explaining in bits and pieces of all of my videos that I mentioned their names, but I'm going to also explain further because there were some very, very vital questions that Big Brother asked him. And this guy really looks troubled. I don't want to use the word depressed, but it looks troubled. He said he's actually overwhelmed, all right? But anyways, aside Victory's diary session, the other housemates that had their diary sessions today, which concluded the diary sessions of the week, or the first diary sessions of the season, I'm also going to go ahead and analyze briefly their sessions, all right? So just go ahead, watch this video to the end, have fun with this video, all right? And yeah, before we get into it, you're all specially welcome to my channel. My name is BBNaija. This is Frankly Speaking with BBNaija, and I am the girl with the tea. All of that said, let's just continue with the rest of the video. Now, some of the things Victory said to Big Brother in the diary room was that he's stressed and he doesn't want to make decisions when he is stressed. And that sort of took me aback. It also took Big Brother aback because Big Brother had a line of questions for him, but here's my own follow-up questions, because I was thinking, like, you are now confused about your relationship with GIGI Jasmine in just a bit under 24 hours, let's say 48 hours. So you were not stressed when you made the first move. You were not stressed when you approached her, because Big Brother asked him, who made the first move? He said, me. People that asked him, so did you not know her enough? Like, why did you make the first move? Did you not know her enough? Or did you not think you should stay away and maybe study her for a bit before you approached her? He now said, hey, you know, in Big Brother's house, in this kind of Big Brother's house, he did not think like that. You know, it was something like, if you like somebody, you just move on to the person. And that was what he did. So Big Brother had asked him, okay, so you want to think about it, you want to make up your mind, you want to clear your mind before letting her know the decision you've made. So whilst you are thinking, what do you want her to be doing? Which was an excellent question. Big Brother's, what do you want her to be doing? And he said, that both of them, they agreed not to talk till on Saturday. That now he's still thinking, he's still trying to make up his mind. Then on Saturday, he will now make his decision. He will now know what he wants to do. Ladies and gentlemen, the way Victory was even answering the questions Big Brother was asking, it was really annoying, because you could tell that even Big Brother was irritated. Big Brother just had to quickly dismiss his diary session by ending it. Victory, your diary session has come to an end, you know? Like, the guy should just get out. That was the way it was from Big Brother, because let's be honest here. And I'm sure Big Brother also knows the truth. Victory is eyeing certain girls in the house, and Dede is one of them. He and Kocho and Kaikumi and Bright, from time to time, they have conversations where they talk about, oh, what do you think about that girl? Is she fine? Is she not fine? And Dede's name pops up from time to time. So you can tell that Victory's eyes are open now. What's her name? GIGI Jasmine is not really his spec, but he said she's a nice girl. He said she's very nice. She has a very, very good personality, and he feels like her personality is going to complement him, because he's a very chaotic person and restless person, but she's very calm. So he likes her because she's his opposite. So they complement each other. And see, I don't want to say certain things, because the way the guy was explaining himself, I totally understand his state of mind, right? It's a game at the end of the day. You did not come to the house to come and marry a wife, except that is what you told yourself, that you're coming to the wife and to the house to come and look for your missing rib. I'm sure he came to that house to compete for that money, right? And if he does not win, at least to really sell himself, prove himself. I don't know. Anyways, everybody has their motive, right? So I understand why he sort of evasive every time Gigi approaches him and asks him all those questions like, do you still find me attractive? Are you still feeling me? That kind of thing. Because even Gigi herself is never even allowing him breathing space. And I don't even think that for a girl, you should continuously be asking a man, are you still feeling me? Do you still like me? It doesn't really make sense. It makes you look and sound insecure. And that is how Gigi presents herself to him. And from the look of things, it seems like Victory does not like girls that are that weak, girls that make themselves that easy. So it's making him also feel uneasy and pressured. And guys, all of these feelings and emotions they are both experiencing is inevitable because they are in a confined space. I'm very sure that if they were in the real world, things would have been different. Gigi is a DJ. She will be very busy. He will be very busy with his cab driving and his pig farming and his psychologist profession that he practices outside. They'll be busy with their lives, or maybe, I don't know. But the guy was really pissing off Big Brother. And at the end of the day, I had to remind myself that this is a game. As I mentioned on my video I did earlier today, it could be that Gigi herself is also playing a game, right? Trying to create the narrative of the victim, the woman that is dealing with unrequited love. And he himself could also be playing another narrative, guys. Who knows? But I would love to hear your thoughts. So just go ahead and share in the comment section below. Now, on to, what's her name now? Sultana. Sultana also had a diary session. And the way her accents changed, number one. Number two, the way the tone of her voice changed. She was sounding very coy. Big brother, so it sounded like she put hot corn in her mouth. And I'm like, hey, God, this girl. Are you trying to woo Big Brother? Are you trying to seduce Big Brother? What the hell are you doing? But anyways, that's by the way. The point is, in a diary session, she talked about the issues she has had with different people in the house. The one she had with Ivata, the one she had with, I think, is it Isabella, if I am not wrong. And she completely made herself look like the saint. She never for once took accountability for her own role in that issue between herself and Ivata. From Ivata's and other eyewitnesses' point of view, they said that Sultana had been, like, the tone of voice with which she had used to address Ivata was very harsh and rude and provocative. And that was what had triggered Ivata into reacting the way she did. And these eyewitnesses, they've told Sultana, but she has refused to accept her own wrong. So when she was in the diary room and talking like a tiny little baby, the way she was talking in the diary room, guys, I was just shaking my head. I was just laughing. I'm like, yeah, gamer. Gamer. Because this is what these housemates do. A lot of them, whilst they're inside the main house, they are playing their strategy, you know, and some of them has the tendency to be very brutal with their strategy. And they know that sometimes viewers will not like the things that they are doing to create highlights or to create content. And they're also aware that when they are carrying out certain acts, some viewers might not be watching the show at that point in time. So they believe that they have an opportunity to sway the minds of those viewers that did not watch when they were doing XYZ inside the house. So when they get into the diary room, they get to lie a lot. Some of them, they get to twist the narrative a lot. And that is why I have always complained anytime the Big Brother of a particular season is not doing justice by calling them out on their bullshit. Because us, the viewers, we deserve to know the truth. So that if people are going to vote for anybody, they're going to do so, accepting them for all of their excesses and all of the beauty they carry within and whatever excellence they have, right? So today, Sultana said all what she said without taking any single accountability. And I was quite disappointed that Big Brother did not call her out on her own part that she played in all of those conflicts. But anyways, I leave that. Moving on to the next housemate, Sabrina. Ladies and gentlemen, I thoroughly enjoyed Sabrina's diary session. I loved the fact that she properly explained the conflict that she had had with Jason, with Ivata, and with Manson. I told you all yesterday that, in fact, Tuesday and Wednesday, yeah, I told you all that the housemates were having their diary session. And in those periods, things were actually happening in the main house whilst the diary session was going on, right? There were different disagreements here and there, especially with regards to the wager rehearsals. And Sabrina was involved in some, and so she had taken out time to properly explain. And at the end of the day, I realized that it was a thing of miscommunication between herself and those housemates, and she explained it, and she also owned up to some of the things that she did. She blamed it all on the stress and her feeling overwhelmed and already aggravated earlier. And then she also gave grace to the people involved. Yes, and I really admire that for it. I really, really admire that for it. The fact that she did not entirely demonize the people that she had all of those conflicts with, but went ahead to even give them grace and explain that she understood why they reacted the way they did, because okay, XYZ happened, and of course it resulted in them behaving the way they behaved. I said, yes, this is true emotional maturity, emotional intelligence, and I loved it. So I just want to really give her accolades, you know, because as I tweeted, a diary session really made me see her in a different way. The Sabrina inside the main house is a Sabrina that is brutal with her strategy. She's a gossip, she's provocative, she's loud, she brags a lot, she's really, really proud of all of her achievements, and she does not hold back from bragging and bragging and bragging, regardless of whose feelings gets hurt. But she's also a very reasonable person that, you know, even when she messes up, she knows how to, you know, self-reflect and take accountability for her actions. So I really enjoyed her diary session. When I say that she's a gossip, ladies and gentlemen, gossiping is allowed in Big Brother's house, because if these housemates do not gossip, how do we get all the tea? How do we get all the tea, all those moments that the camera does not show to us, the viewers? How do we get it, right? Even though we know that there's a tendency for them to twist, you know, the details of the event, at least they still spill, right? And also, let's not forget that there isn't really much distraction in Big Brother's house. That environment is stifling to these housemates. So what they have is each other to talk about, to gossip about. They do not have social media to get gossips from all these gossip blogs or from wherever. They do not have any form of entertainment. So they are their own newspapers. They are their own traditional media. They are their own new age media. They are their own entertainment. All right. So let me say that I have learned to love and appreciate housemates who are chronic gossips, because at the end of the day, they are keeping themselves busy and they are keeping us informed. All right. Thelma also had a diary session today, and this girl really surprised me in a good way. Yeah. Guys, I think for the very first time in these past few days since the show started, I properly heard Thelma's thoughts loud and clear. Now, I don't know if it's because she's not receiving enough screen time, and I totally do not blame production on this one, because there are a lot of housemates in the house, and you know, of course, the cameras will go to people that are awake and very active. Sometimes it seems like Thelma is really sleeping a lot. She is actually. She's one of those housemates that enjoys snatching naps when she can, right? And most of the time, it's like she's avoiding conflict. It's like she's running away from where there's drama. It's like she's just hiding herself behind the shadows. And it makes me wonder, like, girl, what are you doing in that house? What are you doing? And she's actually got a smart, English. She's got a smart mouth. Smart mouth in the sense that, she likes giving fire for fire. If you say one thing that annoys her, she'll put you in your place. She has a very, very strict way of handling conversations, but she also has a good sense of humor, you know. So I was wondering, like, girl, what's going on? But then when she had a diary session today, and you know, she was talking, already clocked Emission's script. According to her, Emission's script reminds her of an ex-housemate script. I knew she was talking about Fina, you know, talked about how she and her mom used to watch the show together, and you know, they would analyze the show. She cried as well. I mean, hey, everybody in Big Brother's house this season cries. So she also shed tears. You know, I was quite intrigued, and I really wish she would come out of her shell more. So I was quite surprised, to be very honest, and I look forward to seeing more of her. And by seeing more of her, I don't just mean just seeing Thelma's face, but seeing I look forward to seeing more content from her. That's just what I'm going to say, okay? Anyways, moving on to the last housemate I'm going to be talking about on this video, the head of house, Jason J. Jason J, yeah. Okay, for starts, he took accountability for how he offended Rude Boy. You know, he said he thought about it. He took accountability. He actually apologized to Rude Boy when they had that, you know, that issue, that disagreement. That was after the welcome dinner, you know. And he said it actually made sense, that he felt afterwards that he had actually read Rude Boy off his own chance to really give a long speech, just like everybody else had done. And Big Brother asked him really if he saw how that would have hurt Rude Boy. He said yes, he saw that, you know. But then I also loved the fact that Big Brother gave him some advice. Big Brother told him that he needs to learn how to put his foot down more often as the head of house. Yes, when he gives instructions, when he is addressing the house, he needs to learn to put his foot down, not to be a walkover anymore. He also advised him to be a good leader who listens to everybody. Yes, and also listens to understand. And you know, when Big Brother mentioned this, or rather gave him the second advice, I knew instantly that Big Brother had taken all the complaints of all the housemates that had their diary session, you know, who had complained that Jason J was allowing Ortega to walk all over him, to disrespect his title and his role as head of house, and to constantly be speaking over him, to be bossy, to be controlling. So I knew that Big Brother had taken all of those complaints and was outrightly giving that feedback to Jason J. And I really do hope that Jason saw what was going on there at that point in time, because if not, he would have lost a valuable opportunity at some very vital information from the overseer of the house. And then he had asked Big Brother if there was going to be any consequences at all for housemates who enjoy defying, you know, his instructions as head of house, because it's quite tough for him to lead all these adults. Everybody wants freedom of expression, and he's trying as much as possible to make everybody happy, but it gets really tough. It gets really challenging. And Big Brother told him that when next he gives a reasonable instruction and nobody wants to pay attention to it, then he should come and report. I said, wow, this is a good one. This season is indeed different, because, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is the first time I will hear Big Brother in any season at all give such assistance to the head of house. Usually Big Brother allows the housemates to just go crazy and allows the head of house to, you know, lead the house the best way he can. But the housemates have been complaining this week, you know, to Big Brother during their diary session about Ortega in particular. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Okay, I think Tracy also had a diary session, but well, wasn't really exciting. Tracy is also one of those housemates that is also really in the shadows, not really coming out. I don't know. I'm going to stop talking here right now. Yeah, I will see you guys on another video. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing day.